Hi guys, this time I have here one song from the band Nerve9. Actually, I've talked to them on Facebook and I asked them if I could use their multi-track session, which is available at the site Cambridge slash not slash cambridgemt.com. I'll post a link later on the video, and you have multiple sessions, multiple mixes. You can download and use for educational or training purposes only. But I've talked to the band on Facebook and asked for the multi-session if I could do a video here on YouTube and talking about my approach to this track. It's a great track, an alternative rock ballad. It has 47 tracks just of audio plus the auxiliary tracks I've added to the project. Since I'm using Pro Tools 8 LE on this iMac from 07, I think I've reached the maximum limit of tracks, which is around 60 or something like that. Not that you need so many tracks, but for this song, I already had 47 tracks. And just for the backing vocals, as you guys can see down here on this green, you have a lot of tracks for backing vocals. So carry on. I'm going to play a little bit of the song so you guys can listen here. So here you go. It starts with the guitar. Okay, this has a lot of reverb, as you guys could hear on the tail from the snare, but I was trying to mimic the final product from their mastering engineer, and that's why I used the reverb. But one thing to see here, very important, is the fact that I'm using that technique that Graham Crockane from the recordingrevolution.com talked about, which is a heavy bus compression, heavy bus when you have instead of having multiple plugins on separate tracks, you just group them to an auxiliary track and you process everything from there. This is because in this case I have a lot of tracks, and since my computer does not allow to, in this particular case, to put every plugin I want in every track, I had to go for that method. So if you guys can see here on the backing vocals, let me just grab here. It's on a group, so I'm going to solo it, and I'm going to put around here something where it has more around here, just for the end. And if you guys can see here on the mixer, as you guys can see, there's a lot of tracks here. What I've done to each track is just I've panned left and right almost everything I had here to create a stereo image, and then I route them to this auxiliary track, which is located around. Let me just find out backvox sub, which is here, and here I have an SSL compressor from Waves, and with the settings accordingly to the sound I want, and an SS channel to brighten it up and clear the low end. So I could do this individually for every track, but since there are backing vocals, I think they sound fine like this. They're soft and they're cool and they sit really well in the background. What else? I used the reverb here on the same channel, routing this to the reverb I have here, which is a Vox verb I've got here. And I'm using, in this case, reverb from, it's a large hall. I just fixed here some stuff like early reflections. I took them off. and it's a big reverb, and it's in the pre-fader mode. Probably you guys know what that means already. So talking about auxiliary tracks, I have my drum sub, drum peak compressor, which is another drum auxiliary track, and this time with more aggressive compressor. This is parallel compressing. I have my tom sub, drum verb, bass sub, which is mono, because the bass is mono, so I don't really need to put it stereo. Guitar sub, guitar verb, guitar delay, key sub for the keys, in this case some sounds, vox sub, vox for the main vox lead vocal. I have the vox sub, and also parallel compression, backing vox sub, vox verb, and vox delay. All right, so this is mainly where I do everything. As you guys can see here from the drum sub, I have also an SSL compressor, an SSL channel. Next to it on the auxiliary track for the parallel compressor, I've got this one from DJ Design. Next to the tom sub, I have a Kramer Pi, because I think it really works on the toms. Our bass to increase harmonics at 50 Hertz, like here, and also an SSL channel to increase some highs or some presence at 5K. Then I have the drum verb, which it's a little reverb, large plate again. Then on the bass sub, I have a Kramer Pi again, an EQ, just to bring a little presence again and take some of the low mod here, and the max bass to increase the overall bass. On the guitar sub, I also have the SSL compressor and SSL channel, sorry, where I take around 100 Hertz to clear things up. And reverb, H delay, I already talked about the key sub, it's also an SSL channel, an SSL compressor, and on the vox sub, it's exactly the same thing. So by doing this, I'm saving resources to the CPU, which is already taking about 35%. Not too much, but if it goes around 50, it starts to go slow. So even though I have some applications like 60 that don't, but Pro Tools works like this in this case. So basically, you guys can see here on the backing vox, I have no plugin. Okay, I could put some plugins here, and even those plugins like EQs and compressor from stock DG, and they wouldn't take much. But I thought, let's just hear the sound, final sound, and tweak from there. Then here on the main vocal lead channel, let me just grab here the other screen, unsolo this, and put just on solo the lead vocal. So what I have here is, first of all, I have an EQ with some curves to my taste. Her voice is really cool. So don't forget, this is from Nerve9, Pray for the Rain. I got a CLA compressor, then a de-esser. Then I got Waves Vocal Rider and another CLA. Okay, then I have a Vox Verb and a Vox delay, which are in safe mode because I used the Vocal Rider to write on the track. As you guys can see here, its automation is done, but not yet. And I haven't tweaked it already. So let's take a listen.
I saw you staring at me, and I knew you didn't care. Your smile told me I was one.
Okay, I think they all sound cool if I disengage them all except for the Vocal Rider.
Your smile told me I was one.
Sorry, I shouldn't have done that because it's in safe mode, so it doesn't let me disengage. Anyway, like I was saying, this track has a lot of tracks, and I was not saying that, sorry. I was talking about the fact that I have to make some minor adjustments here manually. Some parts, because the Waves plugin Vocal Rider is great, but in some parts you may want to increase or decrease the volume So you gotta do it manually. At least it's the only way I know. Okay, I'm creating here some parts already about the Vox, where I want some notes from her voice to ring louder on the delay. So let's check them out.
Now I pray for the rain.
So basically here what I'm doing, just increasing the delay. As you guys can see here, this line, press play, it's going to read this fader.
Now I pray for the rain.
But I'll do similar things on just part of the voice, like
I saw you.
imagine that I want this part to be to prolong the saw you. So I come here where the part is, I just bring up the fader. Let me recall this one and see what happens.
I saw you.
Right, then you have to adjust this to your taste and make it sound better.
I saw you.
There's a lot of feedback here on the delay, but you get the point. So going back to the instrumental, I had on the guitars, I did the same approach where I don't have much plugins. Let me see what the guitars. It's a lot of guitars here. I'm gonna solo the guitars and take that. This is the groups. Let me choose a part where the guitars are more prominent, probably around here. Around here, probably. There's a lot of guitars. Let's put this place. So the processing is all happening basically here, where I have my guitar sub. There are subtle moves, but they really work, especially if the sound is a little harsh. I had a guitar here. I think it's a solo guitar around here probably. On this EQ, I had to take all, once again, I had the aux track already with a low pass filter, but I had to do it again because it was really harsh, at least for me. I'm going to bypass it. There's some fuzziness here in the higher end of the spectrum. Then I had a guitar var and a guitar delay, pan left delay. So I create this great effect on the solo. Next to it, there's no one single compressor or one single EQ, just on this track. Regarding the synths I have here, let me just solo this and solo the synths and check for the part where they are. There's a lot of sounds here, so let's check this part. So this is the channel for the aux channel for the synths, and you guys can see I'm going to bypass it and play it. I'm going to engage them now. The treatment was kind of similar to the guitars because of the. I mean, I had here. I boosted some frequencies around 5K and 6K, and roll off the low end, and I think it sounds cool. Added a little bit of compression here. So on the tracks that don't have compressor, I use the compression dynamic parts here on the SSL channel to compensate for the fact where there is no compressor if it needs. So next there's the drums. So the drums, let's see. check out the drums all together. Oh, solo. Drums. Oh, I'm sorry because I had to make some changes here. This is selected, but it's not. Okay, there you go. So there's a lot of reverb on the snare drums because, like I said before, on the original track there's also a lot of reverb. I could put this a little bit drier, but I like the sound on the context. It sounds really cool. I have here a kick out snare sample. The snare sample sounds very different to the rest. Let's check out. Let me find a part like the chorus where everything is playing without reverb, right? Or it has some reverb. And the other track and the other snare. So if you put them together, I think they complement very well. It's a more hedginess to it, more of a high-end sound. And then the kick and the rest of the microphones, cymbals here, the toms, which I already spoke. I give a similar treatment. I subgrouped them to the tom sub, and I said before the tom sub is around here somewhere. Where is it? All right, with the Kramer Pi air bass and SSL channel. So I think it sounds really cool. I'm gonna play this part. Okay, some parts here with more cymbals, with more toms. The kick here seems to be a little louder, but on the context, it is not. Let's hear this with the bass. This is the DI bass. What I used here, he wasn't just an EQ roll. A lot of this band here was really something annoying. Let me show you just the bass and bypass this EQ and the SSL channel and the compressor. Sounds like this. And the roll, the high end also. Compensated here for what I took before in the compressor. Once again, stock DigiDesign compressor. The other bass sounds like this. Which is a bass amp, really. And the two mixed together. Okay, one thing to remind here on the drums, I do this every time. Automation is very important. So I did here on the overheads, let me put this to volume and this to wave view. Okay, on the overheads, I just have one track here. I just did some automation on the overheads for now because I'm still mixing this, I forgot to say. On the chorus parts and I don't know where else, but maybe on the chorus, let's just check out the overheads. So the volume increases naturally, okay? And I have here an SSL channel. I started with the preset overheads, but then I tweaked some stuff here to my taste. Okay, I haven't done this yet properly. As you guys can see here, it's very, the line here. I'm going to put this in sleep mode. Listen to this part. I'm gonna back this a little bit like this. So it doesn't stay very abrupt. This part I can start here from the Thumps. Little back here. Okay. This is more natural. In context. Okay, remember this is a mixing stage. I think it's already sounding cool, but one thing to notice. Let me just do the same thing here. Little backwards here. All right, and then here again, where it's leaving. Can go for that point here right now. Go smooth, and then here when he comes again, it doesn't matter so much because it's just starting out. So okay, not so important. And about here I already done it, I think, for the quieter parts. All right, so one thing to talk about is the heavy mix bus something, like Graham Crokin talked about in one of his videos. Great stuff he has. So what I have here on my master fader, you can put this anywhere. I have a mix bus, but I decided to put it in a master fader. So let me just see where the master fader is. It's here. I already have an SSL compressor, just touching a little bit the needle. I have a FAB filter plugin. This is important because this is around the mastering stage, not mastering, mixing stage, final mixing stage, and just taking off some bad frequencies and rolling off some of the low end. Then I have the max bass to compensate for that thing I took before. Then I have this EQ, which is part of Abbey Road collection, and this really adds up a lot. Let me just play the track. Bypass. No. Because I have here just high, tone low, but it doesn't just have lows or highs. It's very musical EQ. It sounds really cool. Then for the final thing I have here, which is in bypass mode, a J37 tape emulation. Sonoxy's let me think, sound tools, the sound tool stereo tools, which I've widened up the stereo image.
But no one cares.
You can control here how much you want to widen the track, and here no widen up on the low end, probably around 40 Hertz. So lastly, I have the L2 maximizer, brick wall, or whatever you want to call it. And everything here in context, I'm going to show you guys the track completely. I have here to increase, since I'm on an oldie Mac, I have to probably increase the buffer size because I'm about to recall this J37 and I might have problem. Let's see. No problems at all, at least for now. And this is on a preset, mastering fat, tight, and open stereo, and it really works well. I just took the noise level out. As well as in most plugins. My voice is already different because of all of those plugins. So from the beginning, if I have some playback issues, I have to change the buffer size. But this video is to talk about what Graham Crokin did on a previous video, where he uses a few plugins on every track. You saw on NAM, on the Waves booth, I think, and he uses the auxiliary tracks to process everything he had. It saves time, saves CPU resources, especially for guys like me who have an older iMac, and it really works well. So I'm going to leave you guys to listen to the song. Thanks once again to Nerve9. This is Pray for the Rain, an alternative rock ballad. I'm going to leave a link for their Facebook page, their Bandcamp, their site, and the Cambridge site, where you can download all the 47 tracks and mix to your taste. You don't have to use them all, of course. You can remix and do something different. So it goes from the beginning. If I have some playback issues, I'll solve it.
What's coming your way, and then you'll know and feel my pain. All the honesty and hope that you just threw away. You are so vain. Now I pray for the rain to wash it away, 'cause I know in my heart you won't be there, and I won't wait for the day to hear you say that you're sorry from the heart. You were playing fair. Now the time has come, and you want more than you've shown. There's no one waiting. Your empty past is known. There's nothing left. Regret, it hits real hard. You've pulled this all upon yourself. You can't erase it. So you pray for the rain
So hope you guys have enjoyed it. It ends here like this guitar fading out around here somewhere. Like I've lost myself in so many tracks. Okay. So I made some adjustments, if you guys can see during the video, but this is because I'm using my headphones right now, so the sound is different. I'm going to disengage what I've engaged before, like the L2, my voice is gone, stereo tools and J37, and everything is like it was. And it's playing back at 256, you guys can see here, playback engine. It's a buffer size of 256 samples, so it's done well for the amount of tracks. And okay, so basically this is the video I want to show you about the band Nerve9. This is the great song, Pray for the Rain. Great singer, great songwriters, great musicians, and great sound. Remember that I didn't have much trouble doing this mix on this. This is very important on this song because I didn't use many EQs or solving or fixing in many situations because the sounds were already very well recorded. So when you have from the beginning great sounds, you don't have much to do. You just first you balance everything out without any plugins, just the faders and the pan knobs to your taste, and then later you go and mix the rest to your taste. This is a different approach, like I said before, using heavy mix bus like here on the master fader instead of. But I would like was saying the font, I mean where the things start, are very important, and these guys have all their sounds very well recorded, so it makes the job for the mixing engineer, which I'm not. I'm just an amateur engineer or a wannabe, like they say. And makes the job much easier. So start always with good sound from the beginning. Try the best at every stage because it makes the next stage, or the first stage makes the next stage easier. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching once again, and cheers.